In 79 CE, Mount Vesuvius erupted with terrifying force, burying several Roman cities under volcanic ash and preserving them in a time capsule of extraordinary detail. Among these, Pompeii has stood out for centuries as the best-preserved Roman city ever discovered. Re-emerging from centuries of obscurity in the 18th century, Pompeii offers an unparalleled window into daily life in the Roman Empire. The eruption, though catastrophic, acted as a preservative agent, capturing not only buildings, streets, and art, but even the emotions etched on the faces of its residents at the moment of death.
To a greater extent, Pompeii is the best-preserved Roman city because of the exceptional state of its architecture and the completeness of its domestic and commercial life. Additionally, the breadth of its preserved art and inscriptions provides deep insight into Roman cultural and religious life. To a lesser extent, other cities like Herculaneum offer rival claims due to better preservation of organic materials. Understanding what makes a Roman city best preserved requires examining not only physical survival, but the richness and variety of what remains to tell the story of ancient life. Pompeii is the best preserved Roman city ever discovered because of the remarkable preservation of its architecture and city layout due to the effects of volcanic ash. As a result of the sudden burial caused by Mount Vesuvius, much of Pompeii's urban infrastructure, homes, streets, forums, bathhouses, and even brothels was frozen in time. This offers historians and archaeologists an unprecedented opportunity to study Roman urbanism directly from the source. Excavations since the 18th century have revealed that the city's streets were meticulously planned, laid out in a grid pattern typical of Roman colonies, and connected vital public spaces such as the forum, amphitheater, and temples. A key observation comes from Mary Beard, a renowned classicist, who stated that Pompeii is not just a ghost town, it's a city that talks back. Pompeii, The Life of a Roman Town, 2008, Beard, 2008. This emphasizes how the physical structures in Pompeii actively communicate the patterns of Roman life. The survival of multi-storied homes such as the House of the Faun, with its preserved atrium, peristyle garden, and mosaic floors, illustrates the grandeur of elite domestic architecture. Inscriptions scratched into walls, graffiti, also remain intact, offering insights into everyday civic engagement and personal expression. Historian Andrew Wallace Hadrill highlights the uniqueness of Pompeii's preservation by noting nowhere else in the Roman world is there such a concentration of so many different aspects of life, all caught in the same moment of arrest. Houses and Society in Pompeii and Herculaneum, 1994. Wallace Hadrill, 1994. This shows how Pompeii's built environment captures both diversity and continuity within Roman culture. Similarly, Ingrid Rowland, professor of history, remarks that the layered destruction paradoxically became a layered preservation. Rowland, 2004. Meaning the collapse of Pompeii protected what lay beneath for future generations. Mary Beard's work is reliable due to her rigorous scholarly background and field experience, though her narrative style can sometimes simplify complex debates for general audiences. Nevertheless, the sources agree that Pompeii's physical integrity across public and private spaces makes it unlike any other Roman site. The preservation of urban planning, building functions, and even minor architectural details reinforces the city's position as the most complete surviving example of Roman life in urban form. Therefore, due to the exceptional state of its architecture and the breadth of urban features still visible, Pompeii is the best preserved Roman city. Pompeii holds this status because of the preservation of visual and written culture, which offers deep insight into Roman values, beliefs, and routines. As a result of the volcanic ash sealing everything in place, wall frescoes, floor mosaics, statues, and everyday household objects were left intact. The artistry across elite and modest homes reflects a society rich in symbolism, mythology, and social dynamics. Combined with thousands of inscriptions and graffiti, Pompeii uniquely preserves not just buildings, but the intellectual and emotional lives of its inhabitants. Historian Paul Zanker notes, "The paintings of Pompeii offer a gallery of Roman ideals and illusions, framing how people wished to be seen." Pompeii, Public and Private Life, 1998. Zanker, 1998. This means that decorative art was not merely aesthetic, but communicative, revealing the aspirations and identities of residents. In the Villa of the Mysteries, the Dionysian frieze remains almost completely intact and suggests complex religious initiation rituals. Its preservation is a rare example of how Roman domestic life intersected with spirituality.
Wallace Hadrill also writes that the visual wealth of Pompeii's wall paintings and floor mosaics gives it the character of a museum still in situ. Houses and Society, 1994. Wallace Hadrill, 1994. His observation highlights how Pompeii preserves artworks in their original domestic context rather than as detached museum pieces. This allows scholars to understand their function and meaning in daily life. Furthermore, graffiti reveals social tensions, humor, and daily concerns, ranging from political slogans to romantic messages. Inscriptions such as, "I don't want to sell my husband, not for all the gold in the world," found near a bakery, personalize the ancient world with remarkable intimacy. Mary Beard comments that graffiti in Pompeii was the Twitter of the ancient world, 2008, offering both trivial and profound reflections in real time. Her comparison brings out how democratic these inscriptions were, coming from across social classes. Wallace Hadrill's conclusions are credible due to his involvement in major archaeological projects in Pompeii and Herculaneum, though his focus on domestic architecture occasionally underrepresents public spaces. The corroboration between Beard, Zanker, and Wallace Hadrill confirms that Pompeii offers an unparalleled lens into the aesthetic, spiritual, and linguistic world of the Romans. These artifacts of daily life, the art, the inscriptions, and the everyday objects do not merely survive in Pompeii, they speak. The survival of these elements in situ gives Pompeii an authenticity and richness that no other Roman site can match. Thus, due to the preservation of artistic and written expressions of Roman identity, Pompeii is uniquely placed as the best preserved Roman city. To a lesser extent, Pompeii's claim to being the best preserved Roman city is challenged by the rival city of Herculaneum, which presents superior preservation of organic materials and domestic interiors. Because Herculaneum was buried under a denser, more airtight layer of volcanic material, it retained objects that decayed in Pompeii: wooden furniture, textiles, and food. This allows historians to access a different layer of Roman domestic life, one that includes perishable goods and materials seldom found elsewhere. Archaeologist Andrew Wallace Hadrill, who also directed excavations at Herculaneum, stated, "If Pompeii gives us the shape of Roman life, Herculaneum gives us its texture." Herculaneum, Past and Future, 2011. His observation shows that Herculaneum provides a more tactile, everyday sense of the Roman world, including items like cradles, wooden doors, and woven baskets. Such preservation is almost unparalleled in the ancient world. Moreover, Herculaneum's boathouses revealed the tragic remains of approximately 300 victims, which were not discovered until the 1980s, offering a poignant counter-narrative to the broader understanding of Roman disaster and survival. Classicist Sarah Bissell, who examined the skeletons found in Herculaneum, concluded that bioarchaeological data in Herculaneum revolutionizes our understanding of Roman health and mortality. 1991. Her work highlights that preservation at Herculaneum extends beyond artifacts to include human remains with insights into diet, illness, and even social status based on bone density and injury patterns. Mary Beard acknowledges these advantages by stating, "Herculaneum may be better preserved in parts, but it lacks the scale and completeness of Pompeii." 2008. Her statement reflects the consensus that while Herculaneum's preservation is remarkable, it covers a much smaller urban area.
Wallace Hadrill's dual involvement in both cities makes his evaluation particularly trustworthy, though his emphasis on organic preservation may elevate Herculaneum's role beyond what the broader urban record supports. Despite the richness of its preservation, Herculaneum was a smaller town and lacks the public and civic infrastructure present in Pompeii, such as theaters, large forums, and amphitheaters.
In sum, while Herculaneum excels in preserving the textures of Roman life, it cannot match Pompeii's range, diversity, and completeness. Therefore, although Herculaneum rivals Pompeii in some respects, it does not surpass it. Pompeii remains the best preserved Roman city when considering the totality of urban life, from public to private, monumental to mundane. Pompeii holds its position as the best preserved Roman city ever discovered due to the extraordinary state of its architecture, the detailed preservation of artistic and written culture, and the comprehensive picture it provides of Roman urban life. Its sudden entombment in volcanic ash acted as a preservative force, creating an archaeological record paralleled in its breadth and depth. The survival of entire streets, houses, artworks, graffiti, and even food remnants paints an immersive picture of ancient society. To a greater extent, Pompeii surpasses all other Roman cities through the scale and diversity of its preservation, allowing scholars to reconstruct the rhythms of daily life and civic functioning. The evidence left behind captures not only how Romans lived, but how they thought, celebrated, worshipped, and mourned. To a lesser extent, cities like Herculaneum challenge this claim through their preservation of organic material, yet they lack the completeness and public scale of Pompeii. Understanding what makes a Roman city best preserved is not just about what has survived, but about how much it reveals. In this regard, Pompeii stands unrivaled, a tragic city turned timeless museum, continuing to inform and inspire the modern world about the complexities of Roman civilization.